From beautiful Louisville, Kentucky, it is the USL Championship tonight on CBS Sports Golazo Network. It is top of the table Louisville City FC taking on North Carolina Football Club. Sean St. Jacques, Ken LaVicka, our entire crew, thrilled to have you with us. Is Ken, it's top of the table Louisville against North Carolina's side just on the right side of the playoff line.
Gonna be a good one, an interesting one tonight. Louisville City, they are unstoppable at home. Can North Carolina survive what sure is going to be some onslaught here this evening and find a way to get a rare road point in Louisville?
Louisville have been unbelievably good at Lynn Family Stadium so far this season. Just ask Detroit City, who were the last team to go in there. They briefly led. It didn't last for very long in a 5-1 Louisville win.
I suppose if you're going to take a 5-1 defeat, you can take solace in the fact you gave the only home deficit of the season to Louisville City 8 whopping minutes before the Dogs were called on, and it was an absolute rout after that. The fourth time this season, at least 5 goals at home for Louisville City in a match.
6 wins out of 6 for Louisville at Lynn Family this season. The 27 home goals they've scored are as many as anyone in total has scored this season.
Just look at how unfair that goal differential is at home. Plus 22 on the road, a little bit different. But on this Saturday, road results don't matter. What matters is that Louisville City has been an absolute wagon on their home field.
Like you said, we'll see if it continues tonight. They're going to be hoping that the likes of Taylor Davila are going to lead them in the right direction. He's our Commonwealth Credit Union player to watch for Lou City.
Well, he really has helped this attack find its way on numerous occasions. 28 chances created. Speaking of chances created, Evan Conway for North Carolina FC. The attack really runs through him. Can he get off tonight and give North Carolina FC a chance?
We're thrilled to bring this one to you on CBS Sports Golazo Network. 2 playoff contenders doing battle at one of the USL Championship's main fortresses. The kickoff is coming up next.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Woo! Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey. What are we, Steve?
Winners.
I love you.
Get a new 24 RAV4 or electrified RAV4 hybrid with 4.75 APR financing, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 for $299 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
The PGA Tour returns to the Bluegrass with the ISCO Championship, and Commonwealth Credit Union is thrilled to support this world-class event.
Join us at Champions at Keene Trace in Nicholasville, where children 15 and under will get free admission. Plus, all state employees will get 25% off admission with promo code CCU Golf. We're also hosting Military Day on July 11th for service members and their families.
Don't miss out on this amazing experience, because here,
we see you differently.
The DQ French Toast Bowl is the perfect breakfast for even the busiest day. A hearty combination of sweet and savory ingredients to make for a delicious morning. Sweet French toast sticks? Check. Savory Purnell sausage? Check. Warm fluffy eggs, melty cheese, and drizzly syrup? Check, check, and check. An all-in-one on-the-go bowl so you can easily satisfy your sweet and savory cravings, no matter what the morning calls for. Oh, not that call. The French Toast Bowl checks all the boxes. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
How do you get your news?
Is WDRB the soundtrack to your morning routine?
Or you can scroll on the go with the WDRB News app.
If you've already cut the cord, start streaming our news on WDRB Plus.
Maybe you like to read a more in-depth story and you use WDRB.com.
When weather's the biggest story of your day, the WDRB Weather app has video forecasts and radar.
However you choose to get your news, WDRB is the source.
Sean St. Jacques, Ken LaVicka, our entire crew, thrilled to be back here with you. Moments away from kickoff between Louisville and North Carolina. We look at the starting lineups for both teams. For Danny Cruz and Lou City, the most notable, Wilson Harris is out. Jorge Gonzalez slots in up top.
There was no leading goal scorer for Louisville City at Miami last weekend either, and so Gonzalez comes in, and he'll be part of a three-man attack up front featuring Ray Serrano, and then Adrian Perez is going to move forward as well on the wings. 3 total changes. Taylor Davila back in the starting 11 as well. Kyle Adams at left back, the three-man back.
For North Carolina, obviously we highlighted Evan Conway. Rodrigo DaCosta will be important, but Colin Martin really pulls the strings in that midfield.
He absolutely does, and Colin Martin is really a veteran presence, keeps everything calm. This is not an attack for North Carolina FC that's going to blow you away, but it can find consistency, and that largely is driven by Colin Martin.
A great crowd, as always, here at Lynn Family Stadium. It is going to be North Carolina that get us started, going from right to left. And we are underway on CBS Sports Golazo Network as Abdu Njai, our head official, gets us started in Louisville, Kentucky tonight. It's the first meeting in quite some time between these two. Have to go back pre-pandemic. The last time they met, March 7th, 2020, Louisville won by 1-0 in Cary, North Carolina. A week later, the world shut down. We finally get the rematch here tonight on Pride Night here at Lynn Family Stadium. Louisville have been a rip-roaring machine at home this season. North Carolina, 3 unbeaten in their last 3 league matches. They're hoping to carry some of that momentum into a fortress tonight in front of a big-time crowd.
We can sit here, Sean, and say, oh, we've got this storyline and this storyline and 3, 4, 5 storylines. The one that matters most is the fact that Louisville City, their home form, is the best of any club in any league on this continent, period. Plus 22 goal differential at home. They've already tied the USL Championship record of home matches scoring at least 5 goals, and we are barely into June. It is profound.
And on top of that, they've been grinding out road results as well. June 1st, their last game, they left Miami with a 2-1 win. Sean Tosh, who just never misses from the penalty spot in open play, scored the late winner from the spot in a 2-1 victory. North Carolina are coming off a bye, of course, so they're a bit fresher. Their last game was also at Miami. Not to be outdone, they left with a 4-0 victory, and John Bradford's boys are hoping that the bye helped them out to refresh, and they can keep it rolling here tonight.
I was present at the Louisville City match against Miami, and trust me when I tell you that the North Carolina FC triumph in South Florida was a lot more aesthetically pleasing than what Louisville City did. That said, Louisville City, the sign of a championship side, is when you're not on your A game, finding a way to get results. They got all 3 points, and that's the type of match where you don't ask questions after the fact and you don't apologize for anything. You say, I'll take my result and I'll get out. Louisville City did just that. Job done.
Can see some wet patches out there on the Lynn Family Stadium surface. There was some weather earlier in the day. The latest forecast that we looked at, and again, we're not meteorologists, but it does look like Mother Nature's going to cooperate the rest of the night.
Well, the extent of yours and my meteorological expertise is we look up, we see some clouds, we looked at a radar that's available to everybody online, and there's no rain in the forecast.
And even then, sometimes you run into trouble, unfortunately.
That's very true. I think if you're watching this right now, and this is a fascinating matchup, one, because Louisville City at home, you never know what type of fireworks are going to present themselves, but you also wonder yourself, how does North Carolina FC find success? Well, you've got to be stubborn. Louisville City, nobody takes advantage of their chances better than Louisville City does.
They might get a chance here with Aiden McFadden, but it's really well closed down by Ezra Armstrong, and Lou City will settle for a throw.
Louisville City's bottom 3rd in the USL Championship in possession, but they have the best goal conversion rate in the USL Championship. If you're North Carolina FC, chances are you're going to be able to win possession. But can you take advantage of that possession? No team has come close to figuring that out here at Lynn Family Stadium. If North Carolina FC is the first, they're the first to get at least a point in the table out of this venue.
It's a Fifth Third Bank free kick coming up here for Louisville. Adrian Perez and Ray Serrano are going to stand over this. They've combined for 8 assists so far this season. Perez plays it short, gets it back. A little dink over the top looking for Tosh, and it's going to be headed out. Chance to recycle the play. Davila resets. Gets it back from McFadden. Davila with a lovely slicing ball to find Perez, who holds up the play nicely. Ball played to the byline. Centering pass cleared away by Colin Martin. And it's going to ricochet out of play for a Louisville throw.
Back-to-back clearances needed by North Carolina FC, but they were done with conviction, no hesitation. Last weekend, Miami FC had some hesitation, had some issues in clearances. Even if Louisville City's able to get back on possession, the last thing you want to do is dribble a ball outside the box where Louisville City can get right back into a goal-scoring opportunity. Be sure.
Serrano tried to break free on this near side, but it's well dealt with by Lamar Batista. Davila for Elijah Winder. Aiden McFadden stands one up, it's headed, but it goes sideways and Armstrong's on the case.
Well, that was well marked. In North Carolina FC, it is clear they're going to be under siege. How do you weather the storm? That's the entire key here to do something that no side's been able to do in 2024, and that's feel good about themselves coming out of this place. But Louisville City looks like a refreshed bunch after things were a little bit lagging against Miami FC, but this is a very bright start.
Foul there was against Arturo Ordonez on Raheem Summersall, allowing North Carolina to regain possession. Good step in there by Kyle Adams, who was a question mark coming into tonight's action. But I'm sure Danny Cruz is thrilled to have him back amongst the 11. He's on the chase here. Ball's into the penalty area. North Carolina trying to sneak in behind, but it's a good stop by Damian Loss after Louisville had some miscommunication inside of their own penalty area trying to deal with Evan Conway.
Well, Evan Conway showing right there a little bit of his guile. Quick on that first step and was able to turn on the burners, get that ball to the touchline, and at least make Loss have to work and make a play on that ball. But that now has Louisville City thinking a little bit. And as we indicated before this match started, Evan Conway, he truly is one of the few engines in this North Carolina FC attack, and that was on full display there. We'll see all this coming off of a throw-in, and there's not much to it except it's Conway just outworking the defender for the ball. First good chance for North Carolina FC.
Mikey Maldonado got a critical touch onto that with Perez trying to get past him on the far side. Jake Morris gets it back into the field of play. It'll stay with Louisville City. Again, Louisville not going to waste any time, trying to catch out North Carolina anytime they can.
And you notice, Sean, what we were talking about. No trying to play it out of the back there. Just blast it across the touchline and get the defense set again if you're North Carolina FC.
Adams lifts it over the top. Morris was in the vicinity. Didn't quite bounce rightly for him, but it is going to be a throw-in for Louisville. Jake Morris, a player who's been at pretty much every level you can be at in American soccer. He's on the ball here for Lou City in some traffic, but Morris works his way through. Perez does as well. He goes down. And the referee points for a goal kick despite a few Louisville penalty shouts.
Yeah, there's more than a few. Pretty vociferous here. Let's see where... And I think that that's probably not enough of a nick there to force the referee to point to the spot. I think that's probably a good job of swallowing that whistle. Mikey Maldonado, that probably would have been a bit unfair. And so play on here early in this match. Was there a bit of contact? Sure. Did it affect the play? I'm not quite sure.
Abdou Njai certainly gave himself a couple of beats to think about it. One of those for a referee where it's a tight angle. You're not always seeing the full picture, but to be fair, I think he got that one right.
We saw last week, late in that match against Miami FC, a very controversial penalty awarded to Louisville City. And of course, Sean Tosh stepped to the spot and did what Sean Tosh does, and that's finish from the penalty area. Louisville City, they weren't going to apologize for that. They took their result. They earned the result by being on the front foot, and they don't get the benefit of the doubt here early in this one.
There was the last sequence. Costa was involved, but it's Perez who's down for Louisville City.
Perez, who has really been the best distributor of the ball as of late for Louisville City. And Danny Cruz is asking for explanations here as Perez looks to be in a bit of pain.
He's tied for second in the league with 5 assists to his name this season.
And a beautiful assist last week, the first Louisville City goal. We'll see again what happened here with Perez. He went down awkwardly, clutching. Yeah, looks like he's got an issue in his midsection, his groin area.
We talked about the slick surface earlier, and I wonder if that maybe led to that strain.
Because was there a little bit of contact? Sure, but it looked like he went down awkwardly, and he is in quite a bit of discomfort. I think that's it for him.
We've just been told that it looks like it's going to be Sam Gleadle who's going to come off the bench and replace Adrian Perez. That's a tough blow for Louisville inside of 12 minutes. To be fair, not a bad replacement to bring on. Sam Gleadle with Monterey Bay was a goal-scoring force. He's certainly a playmaker, but Adrian Perez had a phenomenal season, and Danny Cruz will hope that this is nothing serious long-term in the season.
So Gleadle got his first start of the year last week against Miami FC, and he comes in very early, 13th minute, and a very frustrated Adrian Perez. It's one of those things where, especially when it appears to be a groin, all you're thinking now is, how long is it going to take me to get this right? It's just one of those injuries, and now Gleadle comes in. So no Adrian Perez, and already no Wilson Harris, who's banged up as well. And the attack taking a little bit of a hit, and Louisville City's depth being put to the test here early at home against North Carolina.
Fortna substitution is confirmed. We'll see how Sam Gleadle gets on for Louisville City. Sam Gleadle got his first start for Louisville against Miami last time out, so he's gotten more run of late, and he's off to a really good start here, trying to surge ahead. Almost picked the pocket at the back there of Bryce Washington, and in the end, Jake McGuire has to step in to settle things down.
Yeah, Gleadle flashed at times against Miami FC, certainly looked comfortable in his starting role, the first of 2024. And how important does that look now, being able to go to Miami? And Danny Cruz talked about before that match, hey, this is an opportunity for us to, with no Wilson Harris, precautionary measures, keeping him out, a chance to see what we have. And now Gleadle, who already had the start, gets pressed into a situation they weren't expecting. And how valuable does last week look now with that opportunity and the decisions made by Danny Cruz?
Well, that's a coming together on the far side. Referee allows play to continue. Conway down the far side. Going up against his former San Diego Loyal teammate in Kyle Adams. Adams wins the battle. Maldonado tried to find Conway again. It's out for a North Carolina throw.
I appreciate Evan Conway trying to split defenders and make something spectacular happen, but in this place against this team, if you can simply poke something off of a leg and get yourself a set piece, I think you probably, if you're John Bradford, would prefer a corner as opposed to trying to dribble through 3 defenders.
Couple words exchanged between Maldonado and the Louisville support. And he bends the ball right in. That was a real opportunity for Conway, who lunged at it, but didn't get enough on it with his head.
That is bright right there. That was a fantastic delivery, and the timing just not quite there. But Conway was not marked nearly as well as I think Damian Loss was hoping he would be.
Maldonado again. Long throw this time. Ordonez's header. Martin could certainly hit them. And he tries to volley it past Loss, but instead it's past the goal and wide.
Oh, you like the ideas here for North Carolina FC. This comes off just a deep throw to the 6-yard box. Why not? And not a ton on that shot, but it made Loss think about it and commit to it. A good effort, all things considered, in traffic there from Colin Martin at the top of the area. That is really an unexpected way to generate an attack, and North Carolina FC did it. That's some good, confident, take what the defense is giving you type of approach here for North Carolina FC.
Martin up ahead. It was cut out by McFadden. It pinballs around. Armstrong is able to backheel it past McFadden. There's a coming together away from the ball as Luis Perez goes down. Louisville win the ball back with Gonzalez. Serrano's up ahead. Gonzalez had to continue on because Serrano was in an offside position, and Carolina has it.
This feels precarious right now for North Carolina. You have got to be a little bit more confident on the ball in your defensive third. We saw at one point what was a 4-on-2 advantage for Louisville City. Well done by North Carolina to desperately get back to try and cut that down. But as you said, it was the potential of offside that may have halted that more than North Carolina's hustle. This is the first time North Carolina's looked a little bit dicey and a lack of decisive actions in their defensive third, and it almost cost them.
Fans, when Lou City wins, you win. This season, Lou City's partnered with Wendy's to give you a small, free Frosty if the boys in purple win. No purchase necessary. The offer is valid the following day after a win at any participating Louisville area Wendy's location to redeem. Sean Toast deals with that North Carolina attack. Perez looks to refresh the possession for the visitors here. Armstrong bends it in. Tosh is there again, and Serrano can help to clear for Louisville.
After that turnover, Perez got trucked, and the referee said play on. Perez thought that maybe the referee was just going to allow play to proceed and then come back and call a foul, but no, and Perez was apoplectic as the counter continued for North Carolina FC.
It's gotten a little bit physical and a little bit chaotic over these last 5 to 10 minutes. McGuire shovels it out. More Louisville pressure from Gonzalez. And it was a good touch from Batista, but he sends it right to Danny Cruz.
This Louisville City high press is starting to give North Carolina some problems now. This is the second straight spell of possession for Louisville City in their attacking third, where North Carolina has looked a little bit uncomfortable, and here comes Louisville City again. What a mental advantage it is if you're Louisville City. Before a home match even starts, the flag goes up and offside, much to the chagrin of this crowd here in Louisville. But you already know that your opposition knows the gaudy numbers you've put up at home. How no side has really been able to even really flirt with success in this place. This is such a mental game to be able to have that advantage right off the bat. What a boon that is for Louisville City. And if you're someone like John Bradford on the North Carolina side, the last thing you want to do, though, in the week or the couple of days leading up to coming here to Kentucky is focus on the gaudy numbers, but you need to bring them up. And the guys are on the internet. They obviously understand what they're going up against. You can't just shield them from it. It truly is a major advantage anytime Louisville City steps foot in this place.
In March, they scored 5 here against Birmingham Legion. On CBS, April 6th, they scored 5 against Indy. They also scored 5 against Detroit. They've also scored 6 here in a win against Hartford Athletic. Just a few of the notable results.
I mean, the 5 against Detroit City, that's the one that really, and they conceded first. And then the floodgates opened against that defense.
This portion of tonight's match is brought to you by Toyota. And the Kentucky area Toyota dealers.
Well, you mentioned the turf and how it certainly looks like it's a bit wet. A little bit of weather has had an effect on it. What a complete 180 in terms of surfaces for Louisville City. Compared to last week, you go play on that artificial surface at Miami in the heat, bouncy, and here back to natural grass in a very wide field compared to a very comfortable wide field compared to what you experience against Miami FC. Total contrast.
Somersault up ahead. Conway stifled. Here comes Elijah Winder. And off a ricochet, Morris resets for Louisville. Hey, talk about the home dimensions. I mean, that was one of the things Sean Tosh told the media this week. One thing that Louisville, since he's been here, hasn't done yet is win the regular season title outright like Pittsburgh did a season ago and have all the playoff games through to the final here at Lynn Family Stadium. That is a goal that Danny Cruz and this team have, and when you look at the numbers, you can see why they like to play a few playoff games here like they normally do, to be fair.
Without question. And I mean, there is no better, more effective home field advantage in North American football than what exists right now at Lynn Family Stadium here in Louisville, Kentucky. When you are undefeated, 6 matches, 6 victories, plus 22, this is the best home fortress in the entire continent. And the numbers show that. And that is a testament to not only the team, but the fans as well.
Ray Serrano offside on that last play. And it will allow Jake McGuire and company to reset in front of those Louisville City Ultras. Who always provide a tremendous atmosphere here at Lynn Family Stadium. McGuire, almost too hot to handle. That pass came back to him, but he dealt with it nicely. Somersault has time and space to work with for Carolina. Mitzingen thought better about it. Plays in Maldonado for a refresh of possession. Of course, North Carolina were in USL League One last season. Won the title as well. Them being in the USL Championship doesn't have anything to do with that, of course, but not a bad way to come back to your old stomping grounds.
Boy, there was some heavy contact there, and Perez is down and will likely need some medical attention here. He pops back up. He took a shoulder to his side of his head, maybe in the ear area there, but he definitely popped up. I'm surprised that nobody is. Yeah, he is going to have to come off. Yeah, the fourth official said, no, there was contact to the head. You're going to have to come off and get checked out.
Great communication there between the officials to make sure that Perez comes off to at least have the opportunity to get looked at. He's not going to do that. He's going to come right back on. Looks to be okay, at least for now. Something we'll keep an eye on as the match continues. Ordonez, a rug scraper, just trying to slide that through. Gleadle was the target. Gleadle is fouled. A yellow card is out. And a yellow card is going to be shown, I believe, to Rodrigo da Costa.
Either that or Bryce Washington.
It is Bryce Washington. I think Rodrigo da Costa was arguing on his behalf.
Trying to be a good lawyer in that spot.
So that yellow card is confirmed, and that's the reason why.
The spikes, the cleats got a little bit high on the back of the shin there. And so our first booking comes in the 26th minute.
Yellow cards are presented by Bone Dry Roofing. Here's McFadden for Louisville. Tosh bends the ball in, and it's wide of the target from Jorge Gonzalez.
Now, Jake McGuire was trying to gauge whether he should come out and make a play on that ball or stay in goal. He hesitated a bit, got flat-footed. This is a really good delivery from Tosh. Maldonado, just enough marking, and I think McGuire, if he were to have that one back, may have tried to run out and make a play on that.
Serrano from the corner, Winder's header. He's right down the heart of the goal and held by McGuire.
Well, Winder had a beautiful header goal last week and nearly able to duplicate that this time around. And it was right at McGuire, anticipated it well, knew exactly what he wanted to do, didn't commit, decisive this time around, and remains 0-0.
Ooh, that was nearly a giveaway. Gleadle had his head on a swivel. Armstrong keeps the ball in play. And the foul is going to go against Ordonez, holding back Rodrigo da Costa.
That whole sequence set up by a very heady veteran play by Jake McGuire, simply to just toe poke that out of the box. And then a really good effort from Armstrong to keep that in play. And suddenly, back on possession is North Carolina. This has, for the most part, been a fairly evenly played match to this point.
McGuire gets involved in the buildup here. Batista fluttering one down this near side. Armstrong goes through McFadden, but can't get past Tosh. Perez fights off a challenge, gets Martin involved, and it's a refresh.
Part of the issue against Louisville City is that if you can thwart their extremely energetic and versatile attack, they also don't allow goals either. And that's what's really frustrating about going against this side. Second least goals conceded in the entire USL Championship and a +8 on the rest of the league in goals scored. So they're a two-pronged, where do you find their weakness type of attack. Again, they don't take a high volume of shots, but man, when they do they make it count?
Good shielding by Armstrong, and he gets the ball ahead. However, Evan Conway is in an offside position, and it's a moot point.
John Bradford, what a job he's done in North Carolina FC. Again, took over back in the USL League One time. They finished last in the league 2022. 11th place, basement. They come back, and in their final season in USL League One before heading back to the championship, they end up winning the title over their rival, Charlotte.
Here's Winder for Louisville. Nearly gets it back. Summersault's able to recover in time for North Carolina. Twinkle toes from Perez. Martin decides to find McGuire, who's not going to take any chances. That's headed down for Conway, a push and a chase. Does he keep it in play? The answer is no. Adams shepherds it out. There's Davula, third in the league with 28 chances created. Tries to find Serrano. Offside flag is up. And Danny Cruz is saying, well, it found McFadden. He might not have been in an offside position. But the flag goes up, and Serrano, to be fair, was involved in the play.
It appeared from our vantage point that it was in an offside position. It might have been close, but I think it was the right call. Well, we just got outside of the segment of 90 minutes where Louisville City has been the most vulnerable. Between the 16-minute mark and the half-hour mark, Louisville City's -1 in goal differential this season. So they have now exited that, and this is where they start to get into elite mode. This time and into the early portion of the second half is where they have dominated opponents.
Switch of play for McFadden. McFadden across, it's headed in! Right on cue! The substitute, Sam Gleadle, provides Louisville with liftoff at Lynn Family Stadium. What an impact! And Lou City strike first.
Here's the build-up. Completely unmarked McFadden up the right flank. He had all the time in the world to pick out Gleadle, who simply glided his way just outside the 6-yard box. It's not going to get any easier than that. It is put right on the forehead of Gleadle, who aims it perfectly upper right. Gleadle, the first start of the season last week, and he comes in as a substitute early here tonight, and he's able to tally the goal. We said this is where Louisville City has started to really dominate opponents this time of matches, and snap of a finger, 1-0 to the host side.
It's Sam Gleadle's first goal for Louisville City, and he might have a chance again. That was bent in behind. It's going to be cleared out for a Louisville throw. By the way, that goal was presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery. Add it to the list. Louisville's 36th goal this season, and their 28th at home.
Well, from the half-hour mark through minute 75 in matches this season, it is a +14 goal differential, 18-4 for Louisville City after that goal.
Cross from Morris, ricochets out. It's a corner. Almost as soon as you mentioned the minute change, Louisville scored, and they're on the attack again.
It's just one of those things, there might not be any rhyme or reason or something tangible you can point to other than the fact that they're really, really good, but the numbers don't lie. They smack opponents down through these specific portions of matches more often than not.
Serrano from the set piece. It's another header, and it's cleared off the line by Maldonado as Winder nearly found the net. McFadden for Morris. Gonzalez saved by McGuire, and North Carolina survive another Louisville attacking barrage.
You've got to hunker down because this Louisville City side, the way the attack has looked the last 5 minutes or so, looks like the type of attack that regularly puts up 5 goals or more on their home pitch. This is desperation time for any sort of foothold now in this match if you're North Carolina. But man, how many times, Sean, did we mention here in the opening 30 minutes or so how Louisville City, they take advantage of their opportunities. You cannot allow someone to run unaccounted for up one of the flanks, because you can crowd the box all you want, but there's too much talent, too much depth on this side, and McFadden picked out Gleadle and made it look easy because there was nobody within 10 yards of him leading up to that goal. And score one for the depth of Louisville City. No Wilson Harris, no problem so far.
But North Carolina in for a response. Great save by Loss, thwarting Conway.
And that's where you have got to plant that. Conway hesitated just a bit, and that gave Loss a chance. You'll see, got onto his left foot, kind of punched it into the turf, and Loss was able to recover. Conway, that extra beat he had to take to gather himself to get off that left-footed shot as the ball crossed his path, and that made all the difference. See what you can do on a set piece here.
Under 10 minutes left in the half. Maldonado to take. It's fizzed in. Oh, it would ricochet around, and Serrano took a big swipe at it, didn't clear it. DaCosta tried to toe poke it on target. Tosh was there. It's another corner.
Credit to North Carolina. They have found their footing again. Things were looking desperate. They were frantic. They were affected by the goal, but this sequence here has put things back on track, and they're hunting for an equalizer. Real good, calm response here.
Take two for Maldonado. Puts more arc on it. Headed high into the air. Batista, did he keep the ball in play? He did, but the flag is up.
There's something to be said, though, for North Carolina coming back, putting a very dangerous shot on goal, and then a precariously bouncing ball off of that first set piece to sort of even things out after it looked like Louisville City was surely going to find a second and go up what would be a commanding 2-0 here in this opening half. While you didn't score, all right, now you can exhale and you feel like, all right, let's get back to work and try and grind something out here.
Elijah Winder's able to skate past the Batista challenge. Batista tries to catch up to him, and he concedes a throw. Great recovery. And Louisville will have to settle for a throw instead of potentially getting a corner.
Yeah, Batista's been busy.
Adams. This feels like an important end to the half. A goal either way could really dictate how the second half plays out.
Batista's had his work cut out for him. And now he's tracking again.
Serrano. It's going to be deflected out for another Louisville throw.
And as the anchor of this three-man back, there's just a lot to account for defensively when Louisville City is bearing down on you.
Tosh spoons it up ahead towards McFadden. Armstrong was all over it. And then it's a poor clearance by Colin Martin, giving it right back to Lou City. Welcome to the fans watching this game on WBKI, the official broadcast home of Louisville City FC. Serrano bends in a dangerous ball just past Gonzalez and Gleadle. Morris wins it back for Louisville. Morris! Gonzalez blocked at point-blank range. Gleadle's blocked. Taylor Davila misses it wide of the target. And again, North Carolina are let off the hook.
Now, Jake McGuire should be coming up and giving Ezra Armstrong a massive hug here. Sold out his body after a great save from McGuire point blank. It's Ezra Armstrong who's able to extend and block what would have been a sure goal to an empty right side of the net. That's desperation, a little bit of luck, but you'll take it if you're North Carolina. And man, Louisville City is probing and probing and probing right now. You can't be giving away the ball to start sequences like that.
Davila from the corner. At the near post, it's a header away from Batista. Serrano! Put plenty of movement on it, but it's off target.
Sean, you said it accurately. This feels like a very important end to the half, and North Carolina is hanging on for dear life. It is at a point where 1-0, and you feel like, all right, we're in great shape because, man, Louisville City has had ample opportunity here. Their last 3 spells of possession to find a second, and it has been unlucky for them that they haven't. If North Carolina FC gets to the locker room at 1-0 in deficit, John Bradford's going to say, all right, this is a good thing based on how we finished the half.
Still a long way to go. It's going to be a long 5 minutes plus stoppage time, you feel. North Carolina get a little bit of help as it's going to be a free kick given away by Serrano.
How good has Gleadle been since coming on in the 13th minute for the injured Perez? He has established himself. He looks very dangerous.
He's in again, Sam Gleadle, but it's just too far in front of him, not by much.
He's reading the ball extremely well and knows where he needs to be. Dangerous runs, well-timed. Sam Gleadle, chalk him up as another weapon of depth here for Louisville City. And they're gonna need him. They're gonna need that depth. It is a long, long season, but man, Louisville City last week and here with Gleadle coming in, Danny Cruz needs to feel real happy with what he has in reserve.
Winder! Certainly wound one up. It's Gonzalez! No! Handball appeal from the Louisville City players. It's an offside flag anyway.
So we'll take a look at this again. Winder steps up, blasts it. Good save from McGuire. McFadden is on it, the header, and that absolutely was a handball, but the flag went up for an offside. And so that negated anything that would have instituted a point to the spot. And again, more fortunate stuff from North Carolina. Good save from McGuire, but Louisville City, they deserve to be up 2-0 or maybe 3-0 now.
Free kick for Louisville on their side of the halfway line. North Carolina trying their best to keep Louisville's buzzsaw away from them.
And they're just being allowed to operate with too much real estate. You can't allow Winder to just simply dribble in 3 touches before he unleashes a shot. And then what Louisville City's doing is they're committing everybody forward off the shot, almost hockey-esque. Just create traffic and then go at it. How many times have we seen that the last 10 minutes?
Louisville's been a constant threat in this first half. Sam Gleadle's got the only goal so far, his first in a purple shirt. North Carolina looking to land a sucker punch. Loss comes off of his line. It's a dangerous clearance. Perez has it back. Loss is between the sticks. Good closing down by Tosh anyway. And it's a throw, and that could have been very dangerous for Louisville.
I don't think Colin Martin saw just how far Loss was off his line, because Martin was in a position to take a touch and maybe give it a go from just inside the halfway stripe.
Adams steps in to win it back for Lou City and continued his run, but Gleadle couldn't get a touch on it. And Adams just ran the length of the pitch to put some pressure on McGuire. Great hustle. Gleadle can't win the ball back and instead commits a foul through the back of Mikey Maldonado.
Well, North Carolina FC, they are reeling right now, but again, that scoreline only reads 1-0, though it feels like at any moment it could become 2-0. North Carolina still looks up. and they still have a chance to take a point from this place, and that's all that matters. No side has done that, and I think at this point of the season, the way Louisville City's been playing their form here at home, any result in the table, forget 3, 1, and you feel like it's a huge victory.
A minute plus stoppage time left in the half. Can John Bradford's side come up with something here? A chance to cross this into the middle. Adams gets a touch on the delivery from Minsingen. It's going to be driven back in. Armstrong was the target. McFadden deals with it. Perez gets a head onto it. Armstrong again, won back by Davula.
Tell you what, though, Ezra Armstrong has been everywhere and has done a little bit of everything. Same thing with Raheem Summershaw. They've been playing themselves a little bit out of position, trying to get to the ball, trying to make something happen, and we saw it happen in that instance. North Carolina FC trying to apply a little bit of pressure before halftime.
Was that a clean challenge? Play continues here, and the shot is going to be driven over the top again by Rafa Minsingen. That'll lead us to 4 added minutes of stoppage time at the end of the half. It's presented by the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
John, credit to Minsingen there. He easily could have thrown himself to the turf and tried to earn a free kick from the top of the area, but got up, decided to try and unleash a shot. It was off balance, and he sent it soaring. But just my football insensibilities, I appreciate the fact he didn't hit the turf and then throw his hands in the air and wonder where the call was. He decided to get up and keep pushing, because that's what North Carolina, when they have seen attacking success, it's been sort of a grinded, not pretty, but effective, make Louisville City think about it type of grind here in this opening half.
McGuire up ahead. Tosh was fouled, little nudge in the back. And with 3 minutes left in the half, Louisville can try to build another attack.
Well, Louisville City is 8-1-1 on the season when scoring first. The lone defeat at Charleston, and they are a perfect 5-0 at home when scoring first. The one match that they conceded first, Detroit City, and then Louisville City came back and put up 5 in that match and route to a 5-1 victory.
Good step defensively by Armstrong. Perez up ahead. Offside flag's gonna go up against Rodrigo da Costa, who could have been in if he had waited just a fraction earlier.
Yeah, he saw where he was and tried to make a horizontal run to keep himself offside, but it was a step too late and the flag went up.
Gleedle nearly held that up for Gonzalez. North Carolina again can replenish with possession. That's gonna fall in the middle. It's again for da Costa. And Summersall let one fly. It's wide, and North Carolina are pleading with the referee that it was deflected out. It's gonna be a goal kick.
We'll see if this glanced off of a purple foot here. And I don't know if saw that ball change direction, but from our vantage point, certainly Summersall has a better look at it than we do. Sometimes a shot like that, if it does carom off somebody, you don't necessarily see it, but you hear it. There's no way that we would hear that. So Summersall might have a case, but the referee said, hey, what do you want me to do?
McGuire sweeps it out for a Louisville throw in the final seconds of what's been a really entertaining half.
There's been a little bit of a beauty in the survival mode of North Carolina FC. Have they been fortunate? Sure, but they've weathered those storms, and then they've come back into the attacking half of the field and at least made Louisville City work instead of turtling up and accepting their fate, and you have to appreciate that.
And that is what's going to make the second half very, very intriguing. Louisville were top class in that first half. They got a goal from an unexpected source in Sam Gleadle, who came on as a substitute and scored his first goal with the club. Louisville could have had a handful more, but North Carolina kept them at bay, and it's well poised for the second 45.
It should be a more lopsided scoreline right now, but the fact that it's not is a win for North Carolina FC.
We're excited to see how the second half plays out, but here at Lynn Family Stadium, it's been a really enthralling contest so far. Lots of chances for both teams. For Louisville in particular, Sam Gleadle has the boys in purple in front. It's 1-0 at the half between Louisville and North Carolina.
Summer is heating up with beach vacations, road trips, backyard barbecues, and fireworks. So fuel your summer with MyCard, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. MyCard gives you 3 points for every dollar you spend on transportation and travel, and 1.5 points for everything else, all with no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees. Don't have MyCard? Don't flip out. Flip the balance with a balance transfer and fuel your summer with MyCard, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
The DQ French Toast Bowl is the perfect breakfast for even the busiest day. A hearty combination of sweet and savory ingredients to make for a delicious morning. Sweet French toast sticks? Check. Savory Purnell sausage? Check. Warm fluffy eggs, melty cheese, and drizzly syrup? Check, check, and check. An all-in-one on-the-go bowl so you can easily satisfy your sweet and savory cravings, no matter what the morning calls for. Oh, not that call. The French Toast Bowl checks all the boxes. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to WDRB Plus.
And now to your top 5 at 10, the stories you clicked on most on WDRB.com.
I'm Dalton Godby, and this is Crossroads.
It's time for this week's edition of Get Bet Smart. On me, charges on me!
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Woo!
Whoa.
Oh, hey. What are we, Steve?
Winners.
I love you.
Get a new 24 RAV4 or electrified RAV4 hybrid with 4.75 APR financing, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 for $299 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Back here at the half between Louisville City and North Carolina. We're excited to see what happens in the second half between these two. But first and foremost, a little update on Louisville in general. Of course, we talked about it earlier, Ken, how good they've been at home so far this season. They've been unmatched. No one else has these kind of home numbers.
It's not even close, to be quite honest. And so that makes the opponent think, do I really have a chance? What do I have to do to even register something positive? It's already a mental game before they come in, but we're talking about record-breaking home splits for Louisville City, and they're still on track to have the most goal production of any team in the history of the USL Championship.
Of course, on the other side of the coin, they've been tested on the road. They've been able to grind through those road results. They're going to have to do that the rest of the month of June.
I was going to say, this gets robust away from home at Tampa Bay, at Pittsburgh. Yikes, back-to-back, and only 4 days rest between the two. Then you come home for a brief respite against Rhode Island, then at stingy Birmingham, and then you go across the country at Oakland. This is not an easy 5 on the way.
Those are 4 maybe the toughest road fixtures you can have in the league. And then, of course, at the end of July, a really special event at Lynn Family Stadium, a friendly against Eintracht Frankfurt, who just finished 6th in the German Bundesliga. Louisville's continuing to do this, and it's not only great for them, it's great for the USL Championship.
What a showcase, what a spectacle, and anytime you can put yourself up against a side that finished top half in a world-class league like the Bundesliga, man, what an opportunity, and it's well-earned, well-deserved for what has become one of the premier organizations in all of North American soccer.
We're all really looking forward to seeing how that one plays out. Same thing goes for the second half between Louisville and North Carolina. We'll take a break. We'll get to news and notes and more from around the league. All of that and more is coming up after the break.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2,
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
what a moment.
Rolls it across, Cheney leaves it, Galindres!
Regulation time. Doyle, and an up in front, rebound, scores!
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Woo!
Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey. What are we, Steve?
Winners.
I love you.
Get a new 24 RAV4 or electrified RAV4 hybrid with 4.75 APR financing, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 for $299 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Sean St. Jacques, Ken LaVicka back here with you. It is Louisville 1, North Carolina 0, with a huge second half still to come from a jam-packed Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. We're excited to see how the second half plays out. But first and foremost, news and notes from around the league. Of course, May Player of the Month nominees, tough to pick from. Augie Williams, Ronaldo Damas among the notables, but one of the other notables, of course, is San Antonio getting Jake LaCava from the Charleston Battery.
Yeah, San Antonio trying to jumpstart this early portion of the season and get stronger as they get to the midway point and see if Jake LaCava can answer some questions. And also Sacramento has Justin Portillo via transfer from FC Tulsa. So now you're starting to see movers and shakers as everybody starts to jockey for position in the USL Championship.
Sac Republic so deep in that Western Conference. And of course, what's on the line tonight, if Louisville can win, they would potentially go 4 points clear at the top of the East with a game in hand. We'll get you up to date on that Battery Riverhound score in a second, but that would put Louisville in prime position in these early parts of the season. We look around the league now. It's 0-0 right now between Charleston and Pittsburgh. Detroit just recently scored a second at Rhode Island.
Man, Pittsburgh, Charleston, I didn't see 0-0 in the second half, but Pittsburgh being stubborn and putting the brakes on that high-powered Charleston attack. Colorado Springs, they've been playing fairly well. A 1-0 advantage right now over Memphis 901. And then later on tonight, Oakland welcomes Tampa Bay into town.
That's going to be a really juicy matchup. Sac Republic's in action. They're going to Seaside to take on Monterey Bay. Phoenix, Orange County, juicy as well on Golazo. Vegas, Miami helps to wrap things up tonight before Birmingham Legion takes on Indy tomorrow on ESPN+. Lots of great goals and saves from around the league in the USL Championship. Let's see what got the nod for Save of the Week and Goal of the Week this week.
It will be Hilton. Right-footed ball, really good ball and reaching save from Danny Vitiello. May have been outside the post either way, but Danny Vitiello taking no chances.
Line to the right side. And that ball is struck and put in the lower left side. Robbie Dambrot, he lets go of a rocket.
I've been told that Robbie Dambrot goal is LeBron James approved. It'll be tough to top in this week's action in the USL Championship. Louisville leads by 1-0. Highlights, stats of the second half kick are next.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Woo!
Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey. What do we, Steve?
Winners.
I love you.
Get a new 24 RAV4 or electrified RAV4 hybrid with 4.75 APR financing, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 for $299 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Yeah.
I love it. Woo!
Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey. What do we, Steve?
Winners.
I love you.
Get a new 24 RAV4 or electrified RAV4 hybrid with 4.75 APR financing, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 for $299 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Sean and Ken back here with you. We jump into the first half highlights between Louisville and North Carolina. We begin with a North Carolina chance via a throw.
Yeah, North Carolina asked some questions in the opening half. It was Evan Conway getting to the end line, trying to cross, lost there to extinguish that opportunity. But North Carolina on the front foot. But then Louisville started to probe and probe and probe. And there's the corner curled in. Good job by McGuire after some hesitating moments leading into that set piece. Made that save. And then look at McFadden. Nobody around him able to pick his spot. Gladelu came on in the 13th minute. A substitution due to injury, and he plants it for his first Louisville City goal. He had his first start in a purple shirt last week against Miami FC, and he's the beneficiary of an outstanding delivery. 1-0 to the host side, and then they just kept on coming. How did this stay 1-0? A clearance off the line. Mikey Maldonado saves the day, but Louisville City wasn't done. They would head on some more opportunities after Conway got in behind the defense, forced a good lost save. But Louisville City was not done, because just moments later on the other end of the pitch, here's a turnover. Look at that nifty back heel, and you're going to see this pinball all over the place. Point blank McGuire, and then extending Ezra Armstrong to keep it out of the back of the net, and a final attempt went wide of the goal. Some desperation, urgency, say a prayer moments there for North Carolina FC. In the 41st minute, not done yet. Winder, the blast from distance. McGuire sends it high up into the air. A contested handball, mouth of goal, but the offside flag had already gone up. And a chance to exhale if you're North Carolina, because you were able to go into the locker room down 1-0. Could have been a whole lot worse, Sean.
10 shots to 5 in total. Louisville leads there. 5 shots to 1 with shots on target. The possession is a little misleading. Louisville's possession led to a lot more opportunities. And like you said, North Carolina fortunate that it's only 1-0.
And Louisville City, they rarely win the possession battle, and they consistently win the matches. It's just their MO.
Louisville will get the second half started at Lynn Family Stadium, looking to build on that 1-goal lead. North Carolina will feel that it's still very much there for the taking in the second 45 minutes. And we are thrilled to see who is going to come out on top.
Looked like Conway took a little bit of a knock there along the touchline. Now he's up.
Ooh, that's a giveaway. Gleedle, he scored once. This time he finds Gonzalez. Gonzalez is blocked inside the 18-yard box, I believe, by Lamar Batista.
Yeah, Batista able to get back and put those impossibly long limbs in the way of that shot and keep it at 1-0, but not a good sign for North Carolina if Louisville City's coming out of the locker room the exact same way they went into the locker room, and that's on the attack. North Carolina, a giveaway, and there was Batista right there to block that shot away.
Morris to get the ball back into the field of play. Now Louisville, of course, leading at the half. They're unbeaten in their last 10 when leading at halftime are Louisville City. The last team to get a win off of Louisville from a losing position at halftime was Birmingham Legion on July 23rd, 2023, coming up on a year ago. So Louisville tend to get something when they have a lead at the break. Meanwhile, this portion of tonight's match is brought to you by Toyota and the Kentucky area Toyota dealers.
So, Sean, let me put you in a North Carolina hypothetical here. So, just you're hypothetically representing North Carolina here. Do you want the good news or do you want the bad news?
Ooh. I'll take the bad news. We've been able to handle the bad news so far.
The bad news is that Louisville City in the second half this year has scored 22 goals to 4 concessions, plus 18 goal differential in the second half. Here's the good news. North Carolina, going from coming out of the locker room at halftime to the hour mark, has a +2, 3 goals to 1 conceded differential. So conceivably, you can hit Louisville City here. But Louisville City, the thing about them is that they are the best second half team by a wide margin in the USL Championship.
Sounds like something's got to give in the second half there. It's been a really good showing from Sam Gleedle so far. Comes off the bench, gets his first Louisville goal. Of course, he had 13 goals over the last 2 seasons with Monterey Bay under Frank Yallop. That's one via a header. Back into the path of Gonzalez. Here's Gleedle again, and it's a great save by McGuire. Overhead kick back to Serrano by Gonzalez. And Batista shepherds it out for a goal kick after another close call.
And how dangerous has Gleedle been? This is a great ball through from Gonzalez. Well done cutting off the angle for Jake McGuire, else Gleedle has his second of the night. But Gleedle has been everywhere. We discussed in the first half how crisp and well-timed his runs have been. That is another example of that. A man who did not start tonight, but he came in very early on, prepared, ready to go, and Gleedle is asking some questions of Danny Cruz, if indeed, and we hope this isn't the case, but if Adrian Perez is out for some time with the knock that he took, Gleedle right now is basically forcing his gaffer to say, hey, this spot's yours at the top of the attack.
DaCosta for North Carolina. He's gonna get the ball back after trying to find Nitzingen. Sent ahead by Gonzalez. There's one back by Washington only for a moment. Winder. And the ball's placed up ahead for Gleedle. Gleedle for Serrano. McFadden joins in on the far side and is gonna get on the end of this. McFadden back for Serrano. It was behind him. Still an opportunity, but it was poked away from a potential shooting chance. Morris bends one into the penalty area, right into the waiting arms of Jake McGuire.
Louisville City did a good job of getting up in the attack. It was a really nifty delivery from Serrano to push that ball to the right wing. North Carolina FC, after that cross, able to get good defensive shape and cut things off. But Louisville City certainly not content with the 1-0 advantage at halftime. They are full-fledged front-footing it here in the first 5-6 minutes of the second half.
Davila tried to free McFadden down the far side, but Armstrong and Batista have it covered up. Louisville keeping their foot on the gas at the start of this second half, knowing one goal may not be enough. North Carolina have shown that they can create opportunities. Lovely little click there from McFadden. He tried the outside of his boot again. Plays in Serrano, who has time and space. Serrano cuts it back. And in the end, runs out of room, but it ricochets out for a Louisville throw.
Well, John Bradford might have a decision to make here in the next 5-6 minutes or so if this scoreline doesn't change. He's going to need some reinforcements in the midfield, and he needs somebody that's going to be able to contribute to the attack and stay on the ball.
Serrano again. Bends it in. Winder didn't get a chance to take the shot because the ball went out of play before it was crossed in. And North Carolina go right back to work.
I wonder if Garrett McLaughlin is going to start loosening up here for North Carolina on the touchline. Rodrigo DaCosta has not been able to provide much at the top of this formation for North Carolina. Get some fresh legs in, the former USL League One first teamer, and I do think some more support's going to be needed in the midfield here because this isn't sustainable. The way Louisville City is continuing to push and push and push, you concede a second, you're done. There's no coming back from that. You need to keep yourself in a position to strike and earn a point.
Louisville trying to make it 7 wins out of 7 at Lynn Family this season. Gonzalez went down, referee waves anything away. North Carolina have the ball back, and then Louisville concedes a free kick, almost right on the halfway line.
Now Gonzalez, that looked like a footing issue again that sent him to the turf. I'm not quite sure there was much contact there.
That's how we lost Adrian Perez earlier in the match. Slipped on the surface. It is slick tonight. But Sam Gleedle's come on and has done a tremendous job as the understudy. Has the only goal of the night.
Louisville City's been so disruptive with that press. North Carolina FC, there have been a few opportunities where they've withstood that and been able to find someone making a run, but for the most part, Louisville City is really throwing a kink in this entire thing.
DaCosta Perez out wide. This could open up here for North Carolina. A step over or two for Armstrong. And he wins a corner off of McFadden. Or does he? No, the referee says it was last off of Armstrong. It's even better for that for Louisville. It's a goal kick.
That's got to be so frustrating. You do such good work to break through that pressure, get yourself into an instance where you can develop a set piece, and what a play from McFadden to get that right foot out and push it off of Armstrong. And man, that is some nasty defensive work right there. Recovery from Louisville City. The thing, you can't take any time off from them.
Ball up ahead for Perez. Toe slows it down. Armstrong ricochets into the penalty area, and it's easy enough for Lawson Company to reset. Davila. Ooh, he gives the ball away to Colin Martin. Can North Carolina pounce on this opportunity? It's bent into the middle to Costa. Wide of the target.
That's the third really poor giveaway from Louisville City in the back here tonight. And it leads to DaCosta at least forcing Loss to look at it and give it a thought. And Louisville City survived all of those, but there have been some sloppy giveaways. And North Carolina's going to rue not taking advantage of at least one of them, but there's still plenty of time left in this one.
Davila finds Gleedle. It's behind Serrano. Gonzalez got a piece on that. In the end, McGuire is there for Carolina.
I think Jake McGuire wants everybody to push forward. The problem is Louisville City continues to press. They're pushing their own numbers forward, and I think tired legs are starting to take effect a little bit here for North Carolina FC.
Insingen did really well there in tight quarters. Somersault out to the far side. Armstrong. Can North Carolina maybe turn a corner in this match here? Costa. And Perez is forced out. Maldonado. Nowhere to go in an attacking sense on that occasion. The way Louisville's played, it doesn't feel as close as it is, but it's still only 1-0.
That's a really great way to put it. You wonder how North Carolina is still one Louisville City mistake or a glorious play away from drawing level in this one.
Martin. Minsingen plays it centrally, but in the end, Louisville sweep it away. McGuire will reshuffle things for North Carolina.
Like to see North Carolina try and push this ball to the end lines and up the flanks and put themselves in a position to at least earn some set pieces, whether it's a free kick, whether it's a corner. And yes, Louisville City is very disciplined defensively, case in point, but earn yourself some set pieces.
Great win by Gonzalez. It leads to a chance here for Louisville. It comes up short for McFadden, and Batista is on the cover. And McFadden, I think, wanted a better delivery on that far side. Louisville could have been in business. The USL on ESPN2 kicks off this summer with a League One showdown as Forward Madison FC takes on South Georgia Tormenta. It's Saturday, June 15th, and it's 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Never a bad day to watch the Mingos play, I would say.
Absolutely not. There's no bad time to watch the Mingos go at it.
Some of the best kits. Well, maybe in all of soccer, not just the United States.
They're right up there, that's for certain.
That alone is worth a watch. Ooh, that's a rash challenge that comes in from Colin Martin. He takes out Elijah Winder.
Wow, no card there in a minor upset. Never mind a major upset.
I think the referee held up those 2 fingers to almost tell Colin Martin. That's 2 times now. Maybe that's his last warning.
Especially if that's his second warning. I can't believe there wasn't a yellow issued for that challenge.
The other thing that it could be is that maybe that's the second hard challenge against Elijah Winder. Referees have been looking out on players getting targeted at times. As Conway had some opportunity there to unleash one. Tosh got in the way. It's at the expense of a North Carolina corner as we approach the hour mark here.
So there's the set piece we were discussing coming up here for North Carolina FC. North Carolina not exactly prolific through the air, but the last 2 matches, goals scored through the air off of headers, and both courtesy of Evan Conway's head.
North Carolina have hung around. Can they level it? Maldonado plays it in. It was headed down by Washington, but Louisville gets it out of trouble for now. Summersall tries to keep it going. Martin gets a chance to recycle it. Perez back for him. Oh, and then Mitzingen splits the pair of his teammates, and it's a wasted opportunity.
Now, one of Perez or Colin Martin, I would have loved to see them drive the end line and try and press the envelope instead of playing it out wide once again. And that was the end result. I just don't think the way that Louisville City packs things in, you're going to find much trying to deliver something from 35, 40 yards out. Earn yourself set pieces and try and sort it out from there.
We talked about Louisville not taking their foot off the gas at the beginning of the half, but as we've gotten through the middle points, it does feel like it's gearing a little bit more towards the way North Carolina wants this to go.
Well, they certainly have settled in a little bit. They were still ragged coming out of the locker room, very similar to the end of the first half, but they've grown into this second half. The defense has limited the giveaways and providing gifts, and the attack has had just enough to keep Louisville City from pushing forward consistently.
Armstrong on the run. Good step by Winder. Morris plays it for Davula. And this could be another chance here for Lou City. McFadden down the far side. Serrano lifts it into the middle. It's Gonzalez. It pinballs around. Handball appeals come in from the Louisville players. And the referee allows play to continue before Ordonez picks up a yellow for holding back DaCosta.
I didn't think that hit Mikey Maldonado's hand. I think that went off the back of his head. So we're going to see Serrano with another excellent pinpoint delivery. Well, maybe it went off of an upper arm. Looked like an elbow. Let's just check the location of the arm. Yeah, it hit the upper shoulder area of Maldonado. And so the referee says play on, and that's the rightful way to address that and handle that. I thought it went off the back of his head in real time, but yeah, it hit that shoulder, but that's not going to be pointed to the spot.
And a very tactical foul. Ordonez booked for stopping a counterattack as Mitzingen is able to break free here for North Carolina. He's going to get a chance to shoot. And the angle was slightly against him, but he finds the side netting in the end. And Loss didn't have to make a save.
Yeah, he's going to have to do better than that. And he is going to rue not at least putting a shot on goal. Kyle Adams backtracking, was able to force Mitzingen a little bit wider onto that right foot than he wanted. I think it was a heavier touch than Mitzingen wanted. And he had to unleash that, and it hits the side netting.
Looks like we're going to see 3 changes here for Louisville. Amadou Dia, on his birthday, no less, is going to come on. Jansen Wilson will join him, and so will Dylan Maris. It's like Serrano and Morris have come off. And I think Jorge Gonzalez was the 3rd Fortuna change. So just to recap that, the birthday boy Amadou Dia, Jansen Wilson, and Dylan Maris are on for Louisville. Jake Morris, Ray Serrano, and Jorge Gonzalez are off in a triple change for Louisville City. And that Ordonez yellow from earlier is brought to you by Bone Dry Roofing.
So substitutions 2, 3, and 4 for Danny Cruz tonight. Of course, Khalidal in for Perez due to injury early in the first half.
Amadou Dia and Kyle Adams, who just linked up there, they just started, or at least were part of a start of a Louisville Players podcast this week. They were actually talking about how Kyle Adams, although this is apparently up for debate, good question mark at making banana bread. We'll let you guys be the deciding factor on that.
See, the thing with banana bread, one, it's excellent. It's better without nuts, in my opinion. But there are 2 things that can ruin banana bread. Too salty or too dry. And so those would be the culprits, depending on the taste of the Louisville City player in question when it came to Kyle Adams and his banana bread.
The evidence we have here, and we might have to leave it here, unfortunately, is that Danny Cruz and the staff liked it. The players didn't love the batch that they got. Those guys might have to hash it out on the episode number 2.
I almost wonder if there's a generational issue at play here, because I don't think young people fully appreciate the greatness of banana bread. I think that's what this comes down to.
If they don't, they really should.
Well, that means we're doomed as a society, clearly.
You're not kidding. Louisville get back to work, as should we, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
With Ordonez coming out of the back. That's a giveaway. Perez picks it up here for North Carolina and tries to slide it through, but Kyle Adams gets a critical touch. That very well could have rolled into DaCosta's path.
I thought Perez was going to give it a go. Try to play it through, and now there's a foul and a tussle, and the referee comes over to address it, and it doesn't look like it's going to result in a card. Perez, it was Winder who came up and made contact, threw off his line, tried to poke it through. Adams well positioned per usual after missing the last 2 matches, and an opportunity goes to waste off a bad turnover.
Now then, chance to cross this into the middle for McFadden. Or he'll shoot instead. Took a deflection on the way through, but it's handled by McGuire.
I don't think a lot of people in this building thought that that was headed for a shot on goal when McFadden approached it. Thought it was going to be a cross. I don't think his intention was to hit it low, but it ended up coming off of his foot with enough pace to make McGuire uncomfortable, and he bobbled it.
Winder tries to find the angle here for Lou City. Took on a long shot in the first half. McFadden into the middle. Batista lowered his shoulder. It's an overhead kick off the post. Oh, and the referee's brought it back. It's a penalty for a handball on the initial deflection.
They're going to get Batista for this. McGuire tries to argue his side's case, but the referee, after letting play continue, pretty sure about that. Batista went low trying to head it, but it hit the elbow. It is clearly extended in that spot as he was going to ground. And this is a well-deserved penalty given. And guess who's going to take it? We'll see this one more time. Punched in. Well, the elbow extends, but it looks, is it off the shoulder? He's going to ground, it hits the shoulder, but the elbow's extended, the arm's extended. It made the contact with that arm, with the arm extended. It's different than the Maldonado play earlier. Rightful penalty.
Sean Tosh has made 24 straight penalties for Louisville in open play, going back to June 7th, 2021. He's been so reliable for Louisville from the penalty spot. Can he double Louisville's lead with just over 20 minutes to play? Tosh is Mr. Reliable. He just doesn't miss for Louisville when they need him most. He tucks in his shirt for a 2-0 Lou City lead with 20 minutes to play at Lynn Family Stadium.
Death, taxes, and Sean Tosh converting from the penalty spot. Those the certainties in life. Just 7 nights ago in Miami, Tosh the exact same approach to the ball. Hesitation, goes to the right side of goal. But in Miami, the game winner late in that match, he went upper right. This time, he goes lower right. Either way, McGuire guessed the wrong way. Tosh, he studies it, he practices it. And in the last 2 weeks, the same exact penalty take, the same exact result. What is likely to be a game winner.
25 in a row for Sean Tosh without a miss in open play. His goal is presented by the Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery. Anytime he steps up to the spot, it feels like a shirt tuck is incoming. It's happened again. Louisville deserve it, and North Carolina have 20 minutes to avoid becoming another Lynn Family Stadium victim this season.
23-4 in the second half. Goals for, goals against for Louisville City in 2024.
If it holds, 7 wins out of 7 at Lynn Family Stadium. And they'll add a few more bricks onto the fortress that surrounds Lynn Family Stadium.
We're going to start working on a moat at this point. This is impenetrable at this point.
2 games have gone final elsewhere. Charleston 0, Pittsburgh 0. That's a good result for Bob Lilly's Riverhounds, who are fighting to get back into the top 8. Talk about good results. Detroit City goes to Rhode Island and wins by 2-0. Not many teams have gone there and won this season. Detroit City now has. That's a big one for Danny Dicchio's group.
There's been some hand-wringing about that attack as of late. And it's not an extended issue, but Detroit City, they got off to such a hot start and there's been a bit of a hiccup. Perhaps this gets them back on track. That's a very good result.
Now then, Perez. Can North Carolina find a route back? The answer there is a resounding no. Jansen Wilson comes out with it for Louisville. Winder strides ahead. Has McFadden for company.
Louisville City just cuts off your angles. They get in your line of vision. That's the second time in the last few minutes we've seen Perez looking like he's gearing up to let it fly, and suddenly there's a purple shirt in front of him and he becomes indecisive and ends up turning the ball over, or a chance gets extinguished. That's going to be extremely frustrating, but this is what Louisville City does. They tactically and consistently put you down.
Martin did well to read it, slid in but couldn't find anybody. Then Kyle Adams lost out to Washington, and North Carolina wins a corner after some good pressure themselves.
Well, nothing's ever perfect, and this is likely going to be all 3 points unless something stunning happens for Louisville City. But Danny Cruz is going to have plenty on tape from his back line and his defensive midfield about some poor decision-making from this one to work on in training this week.
Perez to give North Carolina some late life. Bends in a good ball. Washington got up for it again. Somersault. Recycle from Martin. Armstrong gets it back to him. And then the play is stopped for a possible injury inside the 18-yard box for Carolina.
Like Washington is grabbing at the back of his head. Washington goes up. And he was sandwiched between Winder and Kyle Adams. I'm not sure which one made the contact that sent Washington clutching at his head. He's still trying to shake it off. And what could have been for John Bradford, his team hung in there. But this is going to be a difficult journey now.
One goal can change it. Carolina have 15 minutes left. Wilson up ahead. It's going to go out of play. North Carolina is going to make a change here. It's the man you talked about, Ken, Garrett McLaughlin. He's going to come off the bench here, try to provide a late North Carolina spark. And that is going to be the end of the night for Luis Perez. So for it to change, it's actually North Carolina's first change of the night.
I'm not sure that there are many teams that are going to beat Louisville City not making their first substitution until the 75, 76 minute mark. I give credit to North Carolina. They, despite what have looked like some heavy legs at times here in the second half, found a way to stay in it until that second goal.
Armstrong. It's going to be a throw. Fans head to Twitter to vote on tonight's Lynn Family Sports Vision and Training Man of the Match. Poll will be open for the next 10 minutes. Vote now at twitter.com/Lou City.
Part of the problem with the North Carolina substitutions, and why I'm probably being a bit unfair in my analysis there, is that North Carolina's depth is certainly not where Louisville City's is. They have 2 academy players, North Carolina does, off their bench.
Here's McFadden for Louisville. He tries to cross it into the middle. It's blocked and cleared. Maybe a chance for North Carolina up the other end. Evan Conway breaks past Ordonez, who's already been booked. But his pass is in no man's land, and Amadou Dia cleans things up. Loss dinks it over the top for the goal scorer, Tosh.
Of course, no Paco Craig available tonight for North Carolina. Olex Anderson is on international duty. So the depth that John Bradford normally would be able to be provided, it doesn't exist tonight, and probably a good part of the reason why he had to wait so long to actually make a substitution. Surely he wishes the scoreline could have remained 1-0 by the time he got McLaughlin in the game.
Olex Anderson just scored for St. Vincent and the Grenadines the other night in a World Cup qualifier. And a loss to Suriname. Another great example of USL players excelling for their respective countries. Of course, North Carolina certainly miss him tonight. Louisville have another chance to stride ahead. This is Dylan Maris. And Dylan Maris is going to place that out of play. Louisville 2024 ticket packages are available now. Lou City's next home match is June 22nd at 8 p.m. Bring your family and friends to Lynn Family Stadium when the boys in purple face Rhode Island FC. Tickets are available at loucity.com/tickets.
Well, has a chance to be a pretty Electric summer here in Louisville. If these results continue and this level of play continues, we're talking historic levels here.
DaCosta plays it back in, and North Carolina are thwarted. Tosh and Loss, the last lines of defense, do enough to keep a clean sheet intact.
Loss committed to this early, came off, and Tosh able to come and get that foot. Didn't even make its way to the goalkeeper, and Loss rightfully pumped as he says, hey, veteran Tosh, that's phenomenal. Thank you.
It will lead to a Carolina corner. 11 minutes plus stoppage time left. It's going to happen for North Carolina. It has to happen soon. It is a congested penalty area. Abdu Njai is making sure everybody keeps the peace. Maldonado to take. It's into the mixer. It's punched by Loss. Martin follows up, and he's the last one to touch it off the Gleedle clearance. It's a goal kick.
And a lot of traffic in front, and I don't know how Loss got a hand on that. Look at all the bodies, and he somehow is able to come over the top of his own teammate in that situation. Davila, and deflect it away and allow for the Gleedle clearance. And now we have the second North Carolina FC substitution of the night.
It's going to be Raheem Summersall who comes out, and Ja'Cory Hayes is going to enter here for Carolina for the last 10 minutes to try to provide some sort of a jolt. McLaughlin battling with Dia, and he wins a free kick.
This is the first time I've seen this. Ja'Cory Hayes just got his master's in nano engineering from NC State. My goodness, cerebral doesn't even begin to describe it.
But can he make a good banana bread?
That's the question.
That's the next step.
That requires its own level of cerebral.
By the way, I did have one or two people shoot me a couple of texts, including my own dad. Some people do like the nuts in the banana bread, just saying.
No, I know. It's very much like the chunky peanut butter or creamy peanut butter
It's a great point. You're right. Anyone at home that's in the middle of this debate, just keep it civil, okay?
Right, right. We don't need this tearing apart
all
our
friends
society
here.
as well, right?
Yeah. Here's Winder up ahead. Maris, it's good skill. Better defending from North Carolina, and they get the ball away. Conway leads the charge. Numbers arriving in the form of Armstrong. Maldonado. Carolina starting to run out of time here. 8 minutes of the 90 remain. McLaughlin. Hopeful ball in, but Tosh is on it. And so is Wilson.
Yeah, North Carolina looks like a side that is tired. They're still pushing forward, but I just don't know if they have the belief that they're going to be able to pull one back and certainly vie for a point.
That's a clear shirt tug from Elijah Winder. It's got yellow card written all over it, and that's his punishment.
The tired legs not only isolated to the team in white either, as we saw there from Winder.
Still time left, but you mentioned this earlier, Ken, as we look again at the very clear yellow card on the shirt tug. Louisville's doing this without Wilson Harris, as that yellow card is brought to you by Bone Dry Roofing. That makes this even more impressive. And again, they could have had a few more in that first half.
Right. And if you're going to get, in place of Wilson Harris, someone in Sam Gleedle, who made his introduction to the starting 11 last week against Miami, come on in the 13th minute due to injury, an injury to your best distributor of the ball in the attack, and score and be a consistent, dangerous threat against a very good, formidable defense of North Carolina FC. What are the limits of this Louisville City side? And I'd say they don't exist, at least here at home.
Martin has it for Carolina. It's again across the face. It was Tosh again, getting a toe poke onto it. Opportunity for Hayes to try to turn, but Louisville are able to get it away again. Harris. And this time, it's going to be brought back. A follow-through. Wilson is going to be penalized. Free kick for North Carolina. Hayes resets.
Sorry, Sean. There's been a lot made of the difference between Louisville City at home and Louisville City away. And there's another foul.
It's been a couple now from Dia, who has to be careful.
But I think we exaggerate a little bit the difference in play, because we're talking about prolific, record-setting, maybe something we've never seen before, play and production at home. This is still a Louisville City side that June 8th has one defeat on the road. Everything else has been a result this year. The only reason we discuss that is because this team entered tonight plus 22 at home. So being plus goal differential and a single defeat, it stands out. But I think we exaggerated just to the nature of the way the Louisville City season has gone. This is a championship caliber side that at this point of the year is the favorite to win the USL Championship and hoist the USL Cup.
Fallon, the build-up there, sees Louisville get a free kick to clear things away. And it does look like Danny Cruz is getting one final substitution ready. It looks like Niall McCabe is going to come on. And that's going to be the end of the night for Taylor Davula. A Fortuna change. Davula certainly made an impact tonight. And again, not a bad replacement to bring on Niall McCabe, who just made his first start against Miami of the season last time out, and of course has been at the heart of many a successful Louisville setup.
McCabe gonna get some run here late. And how important is this one to take care of it? Because as we talked about at halftime, there's a little bit of a rough road. There's some potholes coming up here for Louisville City to have to navigate. And now we're going to get a yellow shown to the bench of North Carolina.
That did look like it was someone on the bench and not necessarily John Bradford. It was one of his assistants that used a few of the magic words and gets a yellow card.
Last week, Miami FC got 2 yellows shown to the bench against Louisville City. This is what Louisville City does to teams. They send the frustration level high, the chirping starts, and the cards come out.
3 minutes left for Louisville to make it 7 in a row at home at the start of this campaign. McFadden. For Wilson, who shoots! It was right down the middle. Well read by Jake McGuire and well caught.
McGuire, he positions himself so well, and that didn't fool him. He did what a veteran goalkeeper should do in that spot. He's played well, and he's a big reason why North Carolina came into tonight sitting in a playoff position.
Wilson up ahead, Gleedle's offside. Good save anyway from McGuire. North Carolina free kick.
So we mentioned what's coming up. An always daunting trip to Al Lang, Tampa Bay, coming up for Louisville City.
McLaughlin nearly found DaCosta. Good defensive work by Niall McCabe, who just came on.
And then you go to Pittsburgh. That place always gets up for a massive match, and it'll be huge when Louisville City comes in. Pittsburgh, a bit confounding, but they have enough talent to make life difficult and make a playoff position push. And then home against an always game Rhode Island side. You go to Birmingham, and then you have to head across the country to Oakland. That's the next 5 for Louisville City. So certainly some tests to come here, especially away from the comforts of home where Louisville City's dominated.
This is going to be crossed into the middle. Good fall for an opportunity here. Conway and Armstrong fighting for it. It's blasted! Over the top and out of play. Said it earlier how good Colin Martin is at striking a ball. He could not hit the target. Get a chance to tell you that Sam Gleadle is our man of the match tonight. Talk about a super sub. Comes on in the 13th minute, gets Louisville off and running with his first goal for the club, and Lou City never looked back.
Yeah, not even a debate. A distant second. Sam Gleadle, the very deserved man of the match. And it speaks to the preparation of someone like him who, he doesn't even know if he's going to see action as a substitute tonight. And he comes in just 13 minutes in after the unfortunate injury to Perez, what appears to be a groin concern. And he was electric from the onset.
Talked about what the result means for Louisville. For North Carolina, that 8th spot would become a bit exposed. That final playoff spot at the moment, of course, as we enter 5 added minutes. Brought to you by the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Would also end their 3-game unbeaten run, which they had coming into the night. 5 minutes to get something back, though, as McLaughlin has it blocked by Dia. Out for a North Carolina throw. It's going to take a miraculous turnaround now if North Carolina are going to get something. Maldonado's throw, it's into the mix. It's headed on goal by Batista. Easy enough for Damian Loss.
It has not been the cleanest effort tonight, not the most dominating, overwhelming effort we've seen from Louisville City. But you enter the night 1 point clear of Charleston at the top of the table in the East. Charleston playing a home match against a struggling Pittsburgh side, and you're going to leave the evening up 3 on Charleston after a draw, and then you pick up the victory.
And it should be mentioned that Louisville has a game in hand.
Correct.
On Charleston as well. So they could extend their lead at the top. And again, Louisville don't just lead the East, they lead all of the USL Championship in wins and points. If this holds, it will be Louisville's 10th win of the season. Give credit to North Carolina. They're going to keep on pushing. Can they get a goal back in the time remaining? Armstrong dances past one. He crosses it into the middle. It's Conway! He scores! Yes is the answer. Carolina does get one back, and they have 3 minutes left to pull off a late shocker here in Louisville.
Well, there's the clean sheet by the wayside. Loss is upset. North Carolina has been consistently still at least trying to ask questions, and that was a difficult angle to unleash a shot like that. Boy, that is world-class stuff from Conway with his left foot, and he should have a smile on his face. 2-1, and it's not time to wrap it up yet.
It's Evan Conway's team leading 3rd of the season, and North Carolina have 2.5 minutes to pull this off. How important is that Tosh penalty? Look right now. Free kick for North Carolina.
Dare I say, I may have been coronating too early in this one.
Crazy things can happen in the USL Championship. We've seen it plenty of times already this season. Maldonado plays it. Armstrong out wide. Back for Armstrong. Faint handball appeals come in. We continue on. Martin bends it into the penalty area, and it's over almost everybody's head. Minsigan back across, and it's headed away by McFadden. Batista recycles. All of a sudden, it's North Carolina pounding at the door. Batista into the middle. Winder has it covered. Maldonado resets. Minsigan bends it in, and it's headed away by Tosh. And then Wilson is harried by Batista. It's a free kick, and there's about a minute left to go.
It's all right. That foul is perfectly okay, because instead of Louisville City traipsing their way into the attacking half and trying to kill time, you commit the foul. You eventually are going to get that free kick going. You try and win one more possession to put pressure on Loss in the Louisville City goal.
Bone dry roofing yellow card for Batista for the tactical foul. And North Carolina are going to have to get it back up the other end after Loss clears this for Louisville. Ball's going to pinball around. McFadden loses out. That's going to be a North Carolina throw in the final seconds. They don't have a ton of time to take this. Did notice a couple of the looks from the referee saying he's been factoring in some Louisville time wasting. I wonder if that gives them a little bit of extra time here, but not much. Headed ahead by Tosh for Gleadle. It's at the referee's discretion, and Gleadle does exactly what Louisville would hope he does, and he wins a throw. McFadden to get it back into the field of play. Wilson is dispossessed. Is there enough time for Carolina to get it up the field? Maldonado. North Carolina will need a prayer here at the end. It's sent forward. Tosh again wins the ball. Referee has a peek at the watch. It's cleared up field for Gleadle. Batista back for McGuire. And that's it. Full time in Louisville. Lou City holds on for a 7th consecutive home win at the start of a historic beginning to this regular season. A late North Carolina flurry made it interesting, but it's a 2-1 win, and that means that Lou City fans can head to any participating Louisville area Wendy's tomorrow to get a free small Frosty, no purchase necessary. Goals from Tosh and Gleadle enough for the 3 points, and it is purple smoke to celebrate on Pride Night here in Louisville, Kentucky. And we get a chance now to take a look at the move of the game presented by Toyota, and of course, Sam Gleadle was at the heart of it.
McFadden started the move of the game presented by Toyota, and Gleadle finished it. What a picture-perfect delivery, and Gleadle, the super sub, knew exactly what to do with it. The keeper, McGuire, didn't stand a chance.
Job done for now for Louisville City. They stay on track, and they take down North Carolina by 2-1. Post-game is presented to you by the Gorski Law Office. We'll take a chance to step aside, and when we come back, we will wrap it all up with highlights and stats next after another Louisville City win.
Not typical insurance. You're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I'm finally feeling control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Woo!
Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey. What are we, Steve?
Winners.
I love you.
Get a new 24 RAV4 or electrified RAV4 hybrid with 4.75 APR financing, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 for $299 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
This postgame is presented to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety. Sean St. Jacques, Ken Levick, our entire crew back here to wrap things up between Louisville and North Carolina. Got a little bit edgy at the end. Credit to John Bradford's side for not giving in, but Louisville holds on for a 2-1 win. And can we begin the highlights by taking a look at the big super sub moment with Gleadle coming on off the bench in the first half and scoring his first Lou City goal.
Hadn't even been on the pitch for 20 minutes, and McFadden picks him out just outside the 6-yard box. What a delivery and a beautiful finish. And Louisville City had really been poking and prodding and asking questions, and that was a deserved 1-0 advantage to the home side. 68th minute, more pressure from Louisville City, and a handball. Lamar Batista has it go off his shoulder. The arm was extended in the box, and Sean Tosh does what Sean Tosh does, steps to the spot, converts the penalty. He's been doing it consecutively for multiple years, and it was 2-0. But things got a little bit dicey for Louisville City. 92nd minute, Conway knifes it home with a left foot, tucks it inside the right post, but it wasn't enough as Louisville City sees it through. Now 3 points ahead of Charleston, top of table in the Eastern Conference.
It's a lot more lopsided at the end of the first half. Carolina hung around, they got back into it, but in the end, too much Lou City.
Yeah, and look at the shots on target. 9-2, despite only 38% possession. That's the MO for Louisville City. The opponent wins possession. Louisville City, they take care of converting their opportunities when they get them. The blueprint was there. Louisville City followed it, and another 3 points at home.
And another fun night of drama in the USL Championship, to say the least. Louisville keeps on humming at the top of the East and at the top of the entire USL Championship. And how fitting is it again that Sean Tosh is the match winner. Valiant effort from North Carolina, but not enough on the night. For Ken Levick and our entire crew, Sean St. Jacques saying so long from Louisville. 7 straight home wins for Lou City sees them extend their lead at the top of the table.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.